Hello there, Kyle Katarn here, coming back with a trailer reaction to something that's kind of a big deal, actually. The High Republic. A whole new era of Star Wars. Just became unveiled, announced, whatever you want to call it. This is the first time we've had something like this added to the timeline that doesn't have a movie that goes along with it. It's very cool, actually. It's like uncharted territory. It's a whole section of Star Wars history in the timeline that's never been, mapped out before. And although it takes place before any of the movies or books that we've seen so far, it's not technically the earliest thing because it's hundreds of years before the prequel trilogy. But the Old Republic, as in Knights of the Old Republic, was like 4,000 years before the Phantom Menace. So this takes place in between those two eras, the High Republic. There was a live stream, which sadly I missed, but I know that there was a trailer involved, and I'm going to check it out right now. So, without further ado, let's do it!
We are the guardians of peace and justice.
That's what Obi-Wan said.
Beyond the stars is a near endless frontier.
That's cool. It's like a floating Jedi temple.
Our order was meant to shine its light in even the darkest corners of the galaxy.
The Nile.
There, we found an
Like,
evil
the visuals are awesome.
that
What the fuck
none
is
of
that?
us had trained for, that threatens all we know.
Oh, so Trandoshan's are still the bad guys, huh? It's pretty awesome that a series of novels and comics are getting this, like, these motion graphics, like a visual marketing, I think the Legends books, the Expanded Universe, could have really benefited from more of this at the time when they were coming out.
For the survival of the Republic, the fate of all Jedi, for control of the Force itself.
The High Republic. I do love that it has this frontier vibe, Yeah, Light of the Jedi right there, Charles Soule. That's the first one. That actually came out today, so I haven't picked my copy up yet, but it's on the way. Yeah, the visual design that they've gone with, the aesthetic of this new version of the galaxy, where it's still kind of uncharted and mapped out, it really makes you wonder what kind of cataclysmic event happened between the Old Republic and the High Republic to cause this disconnection from the outer rim to the core. But maybe that doesn't even need explaining, because I know that the KOTOR era exists in this weird quasi canon. It's kind of canon but kind of not. BioWare is still updating the game, but it's not really recognized, and yet there's elements of it, like Revan, that have been brought into the Rise of Skywalker. They reference him as one of the Sith Trooper Legions. I don't know. Like I said, it's very murky. But this looks very cool. I'm excited to dive into it. Light of the Jedi is the very first of the releases by Charles Soule. Charles Soule does amazing work with the Darth Vader line right now in Marvel Comics. Which we're also getting some of those too. But just, this trailer reminded me of... what was it? I think it was Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore. The first book in the New Jedi Order series in Legends. Had its own TV commercial. And,
I had fought the worst of all wars and witnessed the redemption of evil. I have seen balance restored to the Force. But order can turn to chaos, as it did when I was born. Now, with my loved ones and my loyal allies, I face a new challenge unlike any before. And I'm not sure this time we can win.
Star Wars Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore, the first novel of the new Jedi Order.
I mean, it's partly why I checked out the book, because I was like, oh, look at this. It's got all these, effects and stuff. This is a big deal, It's really effective marketing, so I really hope that the High Republic does well. I think they're rolling out the High Republic kind of conservatively with books, magazines, comics, in order to sort of test the waters, see how well it's received, and then maybe we'll get, games, movies, series down the road, which would be awesome, Another thing that's really unique about the High Republic is that there's nothing to challenge here, Telling stories in the sequel trilogy, there's always a legend that it's contradicting. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, well in the books, this is how it happened. There's something to compare it to, and therefore a way to criticize it just right off the bat because it's different. There is no Legends High Republic. There is no expanded universe material to compare and contrast against these new books coming out. So it's like, it's up to them. They get to decide how it was, and no one can challenge it. This is what the new story is. And that's really exciting too, because it's a blank slate. We know virtually nothing about this time period other than the Jedi will survive, and the Nihil will be defeated, because they're never referenced again in future media. But the Jedi obviously live on. So, spoiler alert, I think we know who's going to win at the end of the High Republic conflict. But other than that, we really don't know how it plays out, who's involved, where they go, what happens, you know. And I'm really excited to find out. So stay tuned. I'm definitely going to do book reviews of all of the High Republic novels when I'm finished reading them. I know there's also a Chinese language exclusive novel, which is being fan translated right now. I'm going to try and get my hands on that too. And as for the High Republic comics, just stay tuned for Comics with Katarn every Wednesday at 11 on Twitch, and you will read them with me. Cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the rest of the channel for more content, reactions, and review. As I said, I am streaming on Twitch 4 days a week. You can find me at twitch.tv/KyleKatarn. There's also a Discord. You can find a link to that in the description of the video. And if you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/KyleKatarn channel. You'll get access to full-length reactions, content polls. There's some Discord benefits too. Thanks again. And as always, may the Force be with you.